Hello, participant. Should I start? Hello.
Yes, sir. You can start.
So you can see the PPT here.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll start here. Okay, check. Okay. Okay, so second session, I will be talking about the cryptocurrency Bitcoin, how Bitcoin was designed, okay, using blockchain technology. Okay, so this we'll see now. And the cryptocurrency Bitcoin is the first application of blockchain technology. Okay, so let's see some properties of the Bitcoin cryptocurrency. Not only Bitcoin, all the decentralized, say all other cryptocurrency also, like Ether and many other things. There are so many cryptocurrencies are there right now. And in every case, this is the common. There is no trusted party. Okay. So as you see in the rupees or dollar, there are trusted parties. Like in the rupee, we have, it is governed by the government of India, RBI, all these things. So we trust them. So, and in this second properties, the decentralized ledgers on internet. Okay. The ledgers means the transactions. All the transactions are open. It is available on the internet. As you can see, our transactions in the SBI, all these things, that is with the trusted party, with the SBI, or you can say are with the government of India. Okay, we can't see others transactions. Okay, that is with the trusted party. Here, the all you can see all persons transactions. Okay, third one is peer-to-peer network, direct. Okay. Fourth one is very low transaction fee. The transaction fee is very low here. That's why this is also one of the popular. So if you might have seen, and if you want to the conference time, if you want to pay the conference fee, if it is 50K, around 3 to 4K you have to pay as a transaction charges. Okay. In this Bitcoin, the transaction fee will be very, very low. Okay. And second thing is it is not reversible. As you have seen in the rupee case also, if you by mistake, if you transfer, suppose you have account in the SBI and by mistake you have transferred the money to wrong account. So you can request to the trusted party, SBI, that by mistake I have transferred, please revert back. Okay, that is possible in the centralized bank. But in this case, because there is no trusted party, once it is transferred, it's transferred. It cannot be reverted back. It is not reversible. And all the transactions are known to everyone. As I told you, the ledger is with the internet. Okay, so users can see the transactions. Actual sender and receivers cannot be identified. So actually, in the Bitcoin, the transaction is between two addresses. Okay, the addresses will be some kind of number. So I have my address, you have your address. So maybe I am transferring some money to your address. So it's not, name will not be there. We'll see that part. Yeah, I just told in the morning class also, cryptographic hash property. So it requires cryptographic hash property. Blockchain is used here. So we'll see how it is used. The hash function, just I revise it again. Hash function is basically some kind of compression function. You have arbitrary message, big message, and you are compressing into 256 bits. As I told you in the morning, SHA 256 is used. So output is 256. Input is very large. So this is some kind of compression function. So it cannot be one-to-one function. It cannot be one-to-one function. It can be many-to-one function. So okay, it's compared because one-to-one means the number of inputs is equal to number of outputs, but the output is very less here. Okay, so this is the case. So if this is the case, there will be two inputs which will have same output. Understood? So there will be, because it cannot be one to one. So there will be two inputs which will have same output. That will be there because it's a compression function. So now with that one background, what property this cryptographic hash function requires? Pre-image resistant. Given the H output, it should be hard to find the input. That is one thing. Second, pre-image resistance. This we'll see in the blockchain. Okay. Given M1, if I give you M1, it should be hard for the adversary to find another message M2 such that both have the same hash. Okay. So in another way, what I can show, given a block, if I give you a block, one block is given to you. With that block, it will be hard for the adversary to find another block which has same hash as previous block. That's what it is. That is called secondary pre-image resistance. Is very important. Okay, one can do it, but that method will be only based on trial. You try one, try two, but if you try, it will take many years. So everything is not impossible. It's possible, but it will take many years. Okay. Second thing is, it's hard to find two blocks which are same hash, although it is possible. I tell you, this is a compression function, many to one. It's possible, but for the adversary, it will take many years. It is hard for them. Hard for them is okay. This is the cryptography hash functions. This already we have discussed in the morning time. Public key cryptography was given by Diffie and Hellman. So no need to share symmetric crypto system. The problem is they have to share a common key before the before communication starts. In public key cryptography, no need to share. Okay, so this already you have seen. This we've seen. So we go. This ECC just now we saw it. Signature we have just now saw. Okay. We come to the blockchain. Okay. Now, the blockchain, as you know already, is basically by name itself chain of blocks. Okay, chain of blocks. So now how the blocks are connected? There is a hash pointer. Hash pointer is basically hash an address of the previous block. Okay, so first block is the genesis block. That will be with the organizer. That will be in the safe place. That one cannot change. Okay, and other blocks, this block will have address, the address and hash of the previous block. This will have address and hash of the previous block. That will be upper side. This will have hash and address of the previous block. This is called simple blockchain. So now, how it is tamper resistant? Okay, as you have seen, it is called tamper resistant. Now, if you want to tamper it, what will happen? This is a transaction. Okay, this is a transaction. Now you want to change this transaction. Here in the block, see in this size of the block, I think 1 megabyte. Okay, so in 1 megabyte, you can have, let's say, one transaction is some kilobyte, something like that. So in 1 megabyte, whatever transaction you can have, that can be there. So it can be 10 transactions in one block. So block will have some transactions. Okay, so let's say I am the adversary. What I'll do, there is 10 transactions are there, and in one transaction, what I'll do is the receiver, I'll put my name, my address, like something like this. This is my address. So receiver side, I'll put my address. I've changed it. Okay. So if I change it, this if I change it, what will happen? Its hash will change it, and that hash is here. That hash is here. So what I have to do? I am the adversary. I have to change here also. I have to change here also. Okay. Now this block is changed, fully changed, because I have changed here. This hash is changed. I have changed. I have made change. Then I have to make change here also. Here also I have made the change. I have changed the hash value, new hash value here. But now this is changed. This block is changed. So this hash also will change. So I have to change it here. So it basically means if I want to tamper something, I have to change all the following blocks. It's not like it's impossible. We can do it, but I have to change all the following blocks, which is not possible. Okay, that's why it is called blockchain is also called tamper resistant database. This is some kind of data where data is archived. Okay, so it is called tamper resistant database. Okay, now another attack is possible. Another attack. So what I'll do is now I'll create a block here. Can I do it? I'll create a block. Okay, and the adversary, and I'll say transactions will be X is transferring some Bitcoin to me, Y is transferring some Bitcoin to me, like this Z is transferring some Bitcoin to me. I'll put in this block, I'll put some transactions where I am the receiver. I'll design, so in the block, hash pointer will be there and some nonce also will be there. Rest basically you see nonce. Okay, so nonce will be there. Other things are somewhat fixed. You can't change. The timestamp will be there. That you cannot change much. So nonce is the things which you can change. So by changing nonce, what I'll do is I'll create a block such that this block's hash will be same hash as this block. Okay, then what I do? I'll replace this block with the my block. So this will be like this one. Okay, so I have created a block. I am the adversary. I have created the block where I am the receiver. Okay, and whose hash is same as this hash. Both has same hash. Both has same hash. So if I do it here, what I'll do is I'll replace this with my block. And you see, I'll get a lot of Bitcoins. Why this is not possible? Anyone? This is not possible. This obviously this should not be possible. Why this is not possible? I'm creating a block. Already this block is there. I'm creating a block whose hash is same as hash of this block. Why this is not possible? Anyone?
Your question is not clear. What is this? What is that? Can you please put block 1, block 2, block 3 in your question?
Yeah. So block 1, block 2, block 3. There are so many blocks are there. Okay. Now what I'm doing is I'm the adversary. I have created a block whose hash is same as block 2. This block's hash is same as block 2. Okay, so I can, if this block's hash is same as this one, I can replace this block with my block. Nobody will know it because this is having what this is having. This is having block hash of this block. Okay.
You are having the same block 2 and your block are having the same hash.
Correct, yeah, correct. And then here, what this is having is it is having the hash of this block.
Hash of block 2.
And block 2. And now it will have hash of this one. So nobody can know it. Both have same hash. So I'll replace this block with my block. Then you see.
Can you, sir, since we are in online, we don't know, we can't see the cursor. If you can spell it in block 1, block 2, it will be easy for us. So we are not able to see your cursor in the screen. That's the problem. You are telling this block and that block, we are not able to understand which block and which block.
No, block 2. This you can see block 2.
Okay, your cursor is very small, so it is not seen here. So
Oh, okay, so
I can tell.
yeah, block 2, I have created one block. I
Yes.
have created one block whose hash is same as hash of block 2.
Okay.
So now what I'll do is I'll replace this block 2 with my block.
Okay. New block. Okay.
Yeah, my block. You will not be knowing it because
Yes.
this this block will be having hash of this block.
Yes,
That's
it will
So-
be having the hash of yearly block 2. Okay.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
the hash of the block 3 will change.
Why?
The transactions you added in the new block is different from the transactions of the old block.
No. I'm changing the block 2 with my block. Block 3 is same. Block 3, everything is same. I'm removing block 2 and putting my block here, keeping my block here.
So it's
What
open
is
like
it?
your block.
But
Yeah.
for others who have a copy of this blockchain will have the original block. So your block will be considered as wrong and it will be discarded.
Consensus has to be raised, sir.
Consensus, no, these are, no, that is block is kept in the internet. So it's there. We have to go through, we see later on, we can't do that one. So I have discussed, okay, so many things are coming, just I think, it's a simple thing. We have seen this part. I told you, second pre-image resistant. Okay, what it says, given M1, it is hard to find another M2 which has same hash as M1. So given a block 2, I cannot create another block which has same hash as block 2 because this is a hard problem. Nobody can do it. So that's why the security of the blockchain relies on the cryptographic hash functions. So you have to cryptograph the hash functions should be designed in a such a way that these properties they should satisfy. If they don't specify these properties, then a lot of attacks will be there. Okay, so now you can see this property. Given one block, I cannot find another block. That is hard, which has same hash as block 2. That is not possible. Okay, it's possible, but it will take many years. So this is the one which is used in the hash function. Okay, now I hope so. Given this block, I cannot compute another block whose hash is hash of this block. If that is the possible, then I can replace. Then I will be rich. Okay, so this is the cryptographic hash function is used. Some who were asking how the hash functions are used on these things. So this is the use. This security lies on the security of the cryptographic hash function. Okay. So now we'll see how the Bitcoin is designed. Okay, so we'll see some simple ideas. So these kind of things already you might have seen. So what you can say, let's say first they have given, and this is given in the book which you have made, Bitcoin by Narayanan. This is the given there. Okay, so first let's say hypothetical cryptocurrency Goofy coin. Okay, let's say Goofy got some coin. How he got the coin, that we'll see later on. So let's say somehow he got the coin. Okay, that belongs to Goofy coin. Okay, now the coin has to be circulated. Okay, it has to be circulated in the market. Okay, so now what he does is he wants to give it to the Alice. Okay, he will give it to the Alice. So what he does, the digital signature he will use. Now somebody is asking how digital signature is used in the blockchain. So you will say pay to the Alice and he will make a signature. Now you will say pay to Alice and he will make a signature. Now this coin belongs to Alice. Okay, so like you might have seen, yeah, it's okay. So this is everything is digital. This belongs to the Goofy. Now I wrote paid to Alice, and then I made my digital signature. So now this belongs to the Alice. Okay. Next, Alice wants to give it to Bob. Okay. So Bob, what Alice does, pay to Bob, and then he will make the sign. He will make the signature. So now this coin, Goofy coin, belongs to Bob. Okay. So this is the way the coin. This is the way the cryptocurrency may work. This is the simple cryptocurrency. Everything is digital. Goofy got some digital coin, okay, and that belongs to him, and he wants to give it to someone. He wants to give it to bank. He wants to give it to shopkeeper. He will write that this belongs to the shopkeeper Alice, and he will sign it. And if he wants to give it to someone else, then what he'll do is he will give his name, public key, or whatever it is, and he'll make digital signature and give it to him. So now that this coin belongs to the so this is a simple Goofy coin. This is what basis of Bitcoin also. So this is not Bitcoin. So some problem is there in this part. The problem is, see, this is not hard currency. This is the digital one. Although idea this is the basic idea. This is the basic idea for Bitcoin and almost all the cryptocurrency. Okay, they got some digital currency coin. Sign it, give it to us. Sign it, give it to us. The digital signature gives the data authentication. Or okay, so all these things. Now the point is here is problem is here. Since it is digital, it is not hard currency. Hard currency I cannot produce. The rupee I have, it's assumed that I cannot create the same rupees. If I can create, then it will be a forgery. Okay, so assumption is that I cannot create the same currency. But in the digital part, everything is in terms of 0 and 1. And all the coin also will be in 0, 1, and signature also will be 0, 1. Everything is, everything is 0. I can easily, this coin is there. Okay, this Goofy has given to Alice. I can create same copy. This is the copy. I'll create copy here, and I'll copy paste here, same thing this side, and I'll say pay to Chuck, and I'll sign it here. So what will happen? Same coin I spent twice. Once I have given to Bob, once I have given to Chuck. Because digital currency, everything in terms of 0 and 1, and it's very easy to copy. Just copy and paste. So this kind of problem, this is called double spending problem. Is it clear? Okay. So what I did is, although idea is okay, I got the coin, signed and give it to someone else. That's what it has to be. But the problem is here, everything is digital. It can be copy and paste. And copy and paste, and I'll sign and give it to a check also to another person. Not only 2 person, I can give to many person, same money. This is the problem. So if you remove this problem, that can be the valid cryptocurrency. So here they have used the blockchain. So blockchain is used. So now what you do is these things, if you make it centralized, if you keep all these transactions in a central place, then if you keep in the central place, then somebody tries to spend the same coin twice, people will know it because it is kept in the centralized place. Okay, so now we'll come to centralized Goofy coin. Okay, centralized Goofy coin. Okay, so now what you do is all the transactions you keep into the blocks. This block, first you keep it here, next time it will be here, third time it will be here, like this. Now somebody tries to spend the same coin. Already this transaction is there. Alice has given to Bob. Alice has given to Bob. That is here. Let's say that is here. Okay. Now Alice is again trying to give it to Chuck. Same coin. So what is that? people will check it. There will be some person verifier, they will check whether the Alice has already spent this coin or not. If he has not spent the coin, then you will be allowed to give it to the check. Otherwise, the verifier will say that this is already spent, this is already given to the Bob. So what they will do, this transaction they will ignore and they will reject. Okay, so this is called centralized Gopi coin. Now this looks okay. So this is what you can say. You see Bitcoin also. Okay, so now we'll see. Now we'll see these the blocks. As you see, blockchain. Okay, it will have many transactions. The transactions will be like this one. You have input from where you got the 5 Bitcoin, and then whom you are giving output, and then some log time, then hash, some hash of that we see, and then signed by the Alice. This is the simple format. So you see more about the Bitcoin in the maybe day after tomorrow class. Okay, so detailed. So I just give this is the overview. This is a high level view of the transaction. Input, output, and time, and the sign by the. Okay, and this block will have some transactions, right? Transactions. Okay, so this code. Now here we have Merkle tree is used. Okay, so Merkle tree. Here will be many transactions. Let's say 4 transactions. Okay. Now these transactions, hash will be this one, 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 and these 2 hashes will be this hash 1, and these 2 hashes will be hash 1, hash 0. Okay, and these 2 hashes will be root hash, and root hash will be in the block. Okay, so now if you want to, if you, let's say some 4 transactions are there, you want to convince to the person that you have, this is not only used here, but it's used in the, not 4 times, it will be many transactions are there. Okay, you want to convince to the verifier that you have the transaction in this blockchain. Okay, so what you can do is, if you can tell the transaction number, he has to check, and you have, let's say, n transactions are there, it will take big O of n time. It will check one by one. Okay, so instead of that, if you keep in Merkle tree wise, so what will happen? They are keeping like transaction 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and the hash are like this one, and root is hash is there in the blockchain. Okay, so what you will do? You want to convince to the verifier what you will get. Suppose this is my transaction. I will tell this one. I will note down this one and this one, these 2, and these 3 basically. Okay, and these 3 I will tell you that this is my transaction and this is the corresponding data. What you will do? You will know my transaction. You will compute hash of this one. That you will get this part. Then already that person has given this value, and from these 2 values you will compute this value, and then also this already given to him. Then from these 2 you will compute this value, and if this value is the hash value in the blockchain is same as hash of these 2, then you will be convinced that this transaction is there in the blockchain. Otherwise, you will say your transaction is not there in the blockchain. Okay, so now in this way, it will not take big O of n. It will take only height of this complete, almost complete binary. That is log n. It will take only big O of log n. Height will be 3. Height is log n. Okay, so this is the Merkle tree. So they are using unspent transactions. All unspent transactions will be there. They are kept in this way. Okay, Merkle tree. This is called Merkle tree. Okay, so this is also used in blockchain. More used. Okay, so now this is the puzzle. Okay, so now just I'll first briefly discuss about the puzzle, and then we'll see in the later part. Okay, so let's say one puzzle is there. It's not a mathematical puzzle. Okay, it's just some kind of lottery. It's not like there is the ability of the person. It's okay. So what is the puzzle here? Now, as you saw that it's already seen in the morning class, the output is completely uniform. If you change one bit, everything will change in the output. Okay, so that is the hash function. That is the cryptographic hash function. hash function has to be like that. Okay, otherwise one can easily invert. Now, so the puzzle is that you have in see in the hash in the block, you see you will have transactions. Okay, in the block, as you have seen previous cases in the block, you will have timestamp, previous hash, some other things, nonce. So nonce will be there, one number, nonce, and some the transactions. These things will be there. Okay. So this is the block. Roughly, you can say a high level one, nonce, timestamp, transactions, previous hash. This is the block. Okay. Now in these blocks, almost other things are fixed. Transactions are like X is transferring some Bitcoin to Y. So that you can't change. That those transactions are there in the transaction pool. So already it is there. So that you cannot change it. So these are somewhat fixed on that the person doesn't have control on this part. And the previous also it doesn't have control. Timestamp also you cannot change much. You cannot, okay, so maybe few minutes here and there, few seconds, okay, that you cannot change much. Only thing is nonce is up to him. Number used ones, that you can change, that you can choose any number. So this is up to him. Okay, rest is somewhat fixed. So what the puzzle is that find a nonce. So you see the output of the hash is uniform. Okay, it's not like uniformly distributed. Okay, so this is, let's say this is output. Output is from, let's say, 256 bit. Okay, so 2 to the power 0 to 2 to the power 256. Here the different values are there. Okay, so the hash output is between 0 to 2 to the power 256. Clear? Now, as I told you, this is somewhat already fixed, and he has to choose only nonce. Okay, so the target is to choose a nonce whose output is very low, less than 1000. This target is continuously changing. We'll see later on this part. Okay, so what is the hash puzzle problem? Choose a block whose hash is very small, basically less than 1000. Okay, so if you can choose that block, then you have solved the puzzle. So the puzzle is choose a block, or you can say, because since everything is fixed, so basically it is like choosing nonce such that hash of this one is very less than 1000. Okay, so what you will do, there is no, this only way to do is trial method. There is no some algorithm, or there is no method to do this one. Only thing is trial. You choose one nonce, these are fixed. Let's say I choose some nonce like 1500 and try find the hash. If it is less than 1000, you are very lucky. Okay, otherwise if it is not 1000, if it is, let's say, 1 lakh, you try another nonce, try the same thing, find the hash till you are become lucky. Okay, so this is the only way. Okay, so this is called hash puzzle. Is clear? This is the hash puzzle. Okay, so now this second part, already we got all the transactions are in the centralized place, blockchain. Okay, so that no one can make the double spending. Now the problem is now how the block will be added into the blockchain. Simply you cannot say that anyone can add block into the blockchain. If you allow this one, then problem will come, because many people will not, they may add some arbitrary block into the blockchain, which are not correct. Okay, so what will happen? The verifier has to verify every time. Verifier has to check the things. Then it will be found wrong. Then it has to ignore all these things. Okay, so unnecessarily some kind of unnecessarily a lot of time wasted. Okay, so what they have designed is they have said that everyone cannot add block into the blockchain. only few persons can add block into the blockchain. For that, they have consensus algorithm. And here in the Bitcoin, they have the consensus algorithm, that is proof of work. So everybody has consensus that the person who will solve the hash puzzle will add block into the blockchain. So what is this consensus algorithm? Basically, the proof of work. It basically is the person who solves the hash puzzle, as you have seen previous one, will have right to add the block into the blockchain. Okay, and for that you will be rewarded some Bitcoin. So incentive for you. Otherwise, why the honest person will add block into blockchain? Yeah, so many other works. Okay, so the reward is you will be rewarded some Bitcoin. Okay, so that is the consensus algorithm. So now we'll see. Let's see detail. So the new transactions will be broadcasted to all nodes. I want to send a money to X. So then I'll send my transaction. It will go to all the nodes. Finally, it will be in the transaction pool. The transaction pool where everybody can see it. Okay. Now the special nodes who want to get this much money, who want to solve the hash puzzle, what they will do? They will track these transaction pools and they will make a candidate block as previously. Okay, and try to solve the hash puzzle. Okay, these nodes will solve the hash puzzle. If the node is able to solve the hash puzzle, and add the block into the blockchain, and then he will be rewarded 6.25 Bitcoin, and one Bitcoin is this much dollar. See, his value is 53,000. Okay, and then you see other nodes will add the block into blockchain. Other nodes will verify, and the transactions are correct. They will accept the block into the blockchain, and this is the way. This is what consensus algorithm works. Okay, so now if you see here, initially it was so blockchain started in 2008. That time the reward money was 50 Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin. Now after every 4 years, it is becoming a half. So 2012, it became 25. Okay, 2016, it became 12.5. 2020 now it is half, 6.25. Okay, so this is the consensus. So this completes the Bitcoin. So the Bitcoin is basically first the transaction is simply you write that you want to transfer 5 Bitcoin to X. So you have to tell 5 from where you got the 5 Bitcoin, the source. Okay, that will be the transaction, and then you sign it. That will be the transaction. Okay, and since everything is digital, so one can make copy. You see, the hard currency, it's hard to make the copy. Okay, but in the soft one is copy and paste. One can easily make the copy. Okay, so this may be somebody can use the double spending. So it has to copy, and then you can easily sign it there. Okay, so to avoid that one, all these transactions are kept in the centralized place. That is blockchain. So that's what blockchain comes. And then who will add block into the blockchain? That is this algorithm is there. So this is what the Bitcoin. Okay. Okay. So this is the Bitcoin. Now, as you see in this consensus algorithm, this disadvantage of this one is you see now for this one, since the money is very high, you can see 53 6 point still now also 6.25 into 53,000 around, that much dollar. Okay, so many companies are especially working for mining work. So there's many in the cold area of China and the cold area of Europe and maybe in some USA also. Okay, to solve this hash problem, they are using supercomputer lock ASIC, lot of hardware they are using as supercomputers, parallel computers, everything they are doing. Okay, So now if you see there, okay, so now if you see, let's say 20 companies are working with supercomputers, big supercomputers, they are working. Finally, to solve the hash puzzle, finally only one will get it. One will get, okay, and but everyone tried hard, and for that purpose they have used electricity. The computational power, electricity is required. Okay, so the out of 20, only one will be able to solve it. 90% companies, the electricity will go waste. Okay, that is the one thing. Okay, now in roughly in 10 minutes, around 10 minutes, one block is added. Okay, in 1 hour, 6, and you can say roughly in one day, 24, in one day, 24 into 6, this much blocks will be there. And one block, you see how much money is there. Okay, so you can see this much blocks are there. If you can get 2-3 blocks in one day, that will be very good. Okay, this one. So now the calculation is for electricity requirement calculation. So it requires, you can see disadvantages, it requires huge amount of energy. The calculation is that it requires 54 TWE per year in 1 year, which is the electricity requirement of some small country like New Zealand. So this is the disadvantage. It is warming the earth. That is the disadvantage of proof of work. And then there are another consensus algorithm is that proof of stake, that we'll see later tomorrow. Just I'll finish this part, the other part, then we'll see. Okay, we have time. Okay. So now the second part is now third part is Bitcoin wallet. Okay, so now see the money, as I told you. Okay, okay. So as I told you, the transaction is between the addresses. Okay, address 1 is transferring. Let's say that the addresses are basically some number like 87215 is transferring to some number 5621. Okay, 39. So names are not involved. So this is the way. So transactions are between the addresses. And what is the addresses? Address like this one. So you will have private key, then you have elliptical cryptography here, and from this private key, public key, and then you do the hash of public key. That will be the address. So what is the address? This is basically, this value is basically hash of public key. Okay, so you will have public key. You find the hash of public key. That will be your address, and with that address, you can transfer money to the. Okay, suppose you have transferred from your address. You have transferred money to this address. This is my address. This is simple number. So I have to convince to the so you suppose this has transferred 3 Bitcoin. So this 3 Bitcoin belongs to this address. So I have to convince that this Bitcoin belongs to me. This is my address. Okay, how I'll convince? Because this is some random number. Everyone can say this is my address. Okay, so I have to convince. So what I have to do is, since this address is as a public key, okay, so what I'll do, I'll make a signature on some message M. That is not my choice. That will be some M will be given in the Bitcoin. So more detail we'll see day after tomorrow. So what will be the M? So the M, I have to make signature using the corresponding private key. For this address, there will be corresponding private key. Using that private key, I have to sign on M. This I have to do. and then I have to give public key also. And then the verifier, what will do? You will verify this signature using this public key. Okay, so it means this signature is correct with respect to this public key. Now he has to see this address. Now he has given this public key. The signature is correct with this public key. So what you do? You will find hash of this one. If there's hash of this public key, this one, then you will be convinced that this address belongs to me. Okay, this is the way. This is the way to claim the Bitcoin. Okay, so I have to sign using the private key, which is corresponding to this address. Clear? This is the one. Now the question comes, as you've seen, Bitcoin is anonymous, pseudonymity. It's not anonymous completely. So I have say you have, let's say if you have this private PR, and then you have address 1. So if I use this address many times, although this is the one address, this is the random number. Okay, if I use address many times, people will know that yeah, this address belongs to me. So my anonymity will be over. So what they have done, Bitcoin, they have done is they say that one can create any number of pair of private key, public key, and address. This is one. Any number, PR2, 8. You can get any number. And so what you can do is, sometimes you can use this address, some place you can use this address, some place you can use this address. Okay, so that your anonymity will be, people will not know whether this address belongs, this money belongs, this Bitcoin belongs to you or not. Okay, so this is the one. So thing is, what is the wallet now? What is the wallet? So wallet is basically you have to store these things. Wallet is basically you have to store in safe these things: PR1, A1, PR100, AN. Address. So you got the money in Bitcoin with this address, and if you have lost the corresponding private key, then if you have lost this corresponding private key, you will not be able to sign. If you are not able to sign, you cannot claim that this address belongs to you. So basically, you have lost the 3 Bitcoin. So permanently, you have lost. Not only you have lost, no one can claim because nobody knows the corresponding private key. Okay, that is permanently lost. Okay, this is the case. Okay, so this is the second part of this one. So thing is, you have to store the private key address in a safe place. So maybe in tomorrow we'll see more about Bitcoin wallet. Okay, this. So some technique to keep it more safe. Okay, this one. Okay. As you may be thinking about this
Sir, I have
maybe.
a question.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, ECDC DSA, that is elliptic curve digital signature, that is it means in Bitcoin it is automatically anonymity is maintained using this algorithm.
Yeah,
Are you able to hear me
sound was
now?
equal. Now I can. Yeah.
Now you're able to hear?
Yeah, proper. Yeah, now good.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me now it's good. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Sir, you mean the
Now-
anonymity is maintained by ECDSA algorithm in Bitcoin?
No. ECDSA algorithm is the signature algorithm. It's not related to anonymity. Anonymity is maintained. See, ECDSA is basically authentication. Signing, it is signing. Anonymity is maintained because of first thing is, here they are not using the name for transferring the Bitcoin. And if I am transferring the Bitcoin to you, the Kunwar, my name is not used. My address is used. The address is some random number. You cannot say that this number belongs to me. You cannot relate this number to me. Okay, so that is one thing. Yeah, okay, got it. And second thing is they are using many pairs of private key and addresses. Okay, this is one. So ECDC is just for, okay, got it. Okay, so as you maybe now many questions will come. This is just we have discussed only some high level things. So maybe many questions are coming to in your mind. Some questions I'll answer here, and then we'll see some what can you do. So if you have still you have some questions, you can ask. So maybe many things people are thinking about forking. Okay, so obviously, what will happen if the two persons solve the puzzle at the same time? Okay, fork happens when two or more miners find a block nearly at the same time. This many may be thinking about this question. What will happen? Okay, so for that also there is a protocol in the Bitcoin. What should be done in those cases? Okay, so let's say it happens only once. Let's think about it happens once. So at this one time, these two persons, A and B, they solve the puzzle at the same time. Okay, so what will happen? Now this is A and this is the B. These two persons, these two nodes, they are able to solve the puzzle at the same time. Okay, so the protocol says that the miners will broadcast their solutions on the network. So they will broadcast their block into the network. Okay, so what will happen? So these nodes, this side nodes, they will get first B's block, and these people will get first A's block. Okay, so then what will happen? So what they are telling, the protocol says that nodes will accept the first solution they hear and reject others. So what these people will do, they will have B's block and they will reject A's one. Similarly, these A will accept, those who are near to A, they will accept A's block and they will reject B's block. Okay, so you will have forking. Some will have this block and some will have this block. Now, what to choose? Because the blockchain is linear only. It is not like this tree kind of things. So it is completely linear. So which to choose? So it has to be wait. So one has to wait for this. This is allowed. Forking is allowed. They are accepting forking first. Okay. So then what happened? They will wait for the next block. Okay. So let's say next block, as see this one A. Next blocks. So next time again, if you say next time again, same thing happens. So that I not that we see a little bit late. But let us say next time it doesn't happen. Same way. Again, same thing will happen. Same procedure will be there. Okay. So let's say next time it happens same way. It doesn't happen. So some persons from A side, he gets it. Now he gets it. The block. Okay. So what will happen? He gets the block. The person from this side will get the block. So what will happen? He will send his block to everyone. Okay. So these people will get the block. They will add. Okay. Now, so the person is from this side. Okay. The person is from this side, and his previous block is this one, not this one. Okay. So what will happen now is this: the nodes always switch to the longest chain they hear. So the longest chain will be the valid one, and the network. Now what will happen that? Now this one. So now this side also they will have to accept this block. Okay, they have to accept this block. Now how they will switch to the longest chain? By this one. So all B's they have to accept this block, and for this block, the previous block is this one, not this one. Okay, so what will do? Since they have to accept this one, so they have to accept this also. So they will discard this part. This will be discarded, and they will choose this one. This will become longest. Okay, because second, after this one, there is no forking. Only one, the person A, node A was able to solve the puzzle. So that has to be there. Now you see, for this node, the previous block is this one, not this one. So everybody will choose. This will become block. Okay, and this becomes orphan block. So this will be discarded and this becomes abandoned. Okay, and all the transactions in this one will be abandoned. That will be again kept for the transaction pool. Maybe those transactions may be used for next block. Okay, next block they can use. So this becomes this. Okay, so now you see. Now this forking is there, is generally it is rare. Okay, if again forking comes.
Sir,
Yeah,
how
tell me.
this forking is maintained in Bitcoin?
This is the way. Okay, just 1 minute. Just this is the way. So after one round, let's say only forking is there. After this, this will be the blockchain. This will be abandoned. So we got the blockchain. Okay. And now you see they say forking is rare and occurs average once in 60 blocks. So roughly in one day, one forking will be there. Again, forking and forking will not be, generally it is not there. If it is there, same procedure will be there. This is given in this paper. Okay, so the forking is not, it is common. You can say one day one forking will be there. Okay, so now I just this one. Then if you have questions, you can tell me. I just repeat it. Now, as you see, this is valid. Okay, now you may be thinking about it that now what about this transactions in this block? Okay, so now the transactions in the block or the transaction in the block will be executed if there is a 6 blocks following the block. Till see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you get 6 block, here one block is there. Okay, if it gets 6 following blocks, then the transactions in this block will be executed. Till that time, it will not be executed. Okay, till that time, we cannot. Till that time, we cannot. This cannot be executed because somebody may be thinking that if both are in the blockchain, immediately this will be executed. Then again, you are abandoned. Then how it is possible? That is not done. This is not executed immediately. This will be executed only when the 6 more blocks will be following it. And you can see the forking again this way, it is very, very rare. 6 block forking will be very, very, very rare. Probability will be very negligible. Okay, so now any questions is there? No question is there? So some questions were there. Okay, no question.
Sir, how,
Okay, yeah, tell
sir,
me.
how forking is maintained? This forking is avoided, I must say, in this Bitcoin.
It is
Using the
not
longest chain rule, longest chain rule.
yeah. So
Okay.
yeah,
Automatically,
Yeah.
the longest chain is considered,
yeah,
correct? And the
yeah.
rest is orphaned. Okay.
So
Okay.
you can say forking is not avoided. It's not. You can say it is not. Forking
It's
comes. It's not
yeah, it's
prevented. It's not. It comes is okay. Next time it will be solved. Okay. So it's not like they're trying to prevent the forking in the Bitcoin. Okay. So it comes. Forking comes is okay. Let it be. Okay. Now the next block, if this person solves, that will be the block for everyone. But now the B's block, they have previous one was this one. Now since they have to choose this one, and its previous block is this one, not this one. So this will be considered. See, you can't say, see, for this block A, this previous block is this one. Now if you are considering this one, you have to consider its previous block also. Then only it will be blockchain. Then you can't consider this one. So this automatically will be considered. Okay. Now And the second thing is that the transactions in the blockchain will be executed only the 6 more blocks are added. That is one thing. Now you may say that you get six both the sides. That is the possible. Whether it is possible. So that possibility is there. Theoretically it is possible, but practically having 6 both the sides, the probability is negligible. Probability is negligible. If you have 6 sides, then what will happen? This also will be executed. This also will be executed. The two cannot be. So then which will be discarded? That will be wrong. So that probability is very negligible. Okay, this one. Okay, some these are things. Some questions are generally asked, so I have kept this kind of things. The rate at which the new bitcoins are generated. Okay, so many people might have seen some people, management people, the Bitcoin. Some questions are there. How are the transactions selected for block by miner? Yeah. This, so I have this one question. Okay. So this question is saying that I'll just read out. Question is that how are the transactions selected for a block by miner? So how the miner will select the transaction? So this is the question. Okay. So it's good. Okay. So you have transaction. This is a transaction pool. So many transactions are there. I have given transaction, you have given. So many, let's say 1,000 transactions are there. 10,000 are there. It's the transaction. So I have to build a block which may have 10 transactions on it. Because one block is roughly, I think some years back size was 1 megabyte or maybe 10 megabytes. So it will have limited transactions. Maybe 10 transactions. So if it has 10 transactions so I have to choose 10 transactions out of 10,000 transactions. I have liberty. Okay, so which one I choose? So in the transaction, there is an option for option. It's not compulsory. Transaction money. Maybe you can give some, maybe 10 to the power minus 10 Bitcoin or Bitcoin unit, some low unit is there. So those things. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So very low transaction money will be there. That is option. So I can keep it here. I can keep 0 also. So those things are there. So the transaction, this many transaction there, put transaction money. So what the miner will do? Obviously, he will choose the transactions which has more transaction money. Okay, so that will be his strategy. Why you choose the transactions where the transaction money is 0, and this transaction money also goes to the miner. The miner not only gets the reward money, 6.25 Bitcoin. He also gets the transaction money kept in the transaction. Okay, so the motivation is choose the transactions which has transaction money. Okay. So this also comes for this question also. I'll finish this part. Okay. So this is related to this also. Okay. So now if you see, as I told you, every 4 years the reward money will be half. Okay. So now it is 6.25. After 4 years, it will be some 3 point something. Okay. So after some years, we can say, so it's slowly decreasing towards 0, and we will reach 0 when almost 21 million Bitcoins are created. So one thing I can tell you here, as you see in the rupee case, okay. So rupee, who is printing the note? RBI is printing the note. Government of India is printing the note. The trusted party is printing the note. Okay. Here, who should print the note? So here is no trusted party. It's completely decentralized one. So you cannot say that this person will print the note. So how the Bitcoin are generated here? So only source of generating Bitcoin is the reward money, the 25 Bitcoin. So that only is coming to the market. Okay, so the only the money coming to the market is the reward money. And easily one can compute how much Bitcoin is there till now. Easily you can add. So 10 minutes, one block. First it was 50. For 4 years, 50 into that much block. That much number of blocks. Then 25. Then 20. So easily one can compute the amount of Bitcoin in the market. Okay. So you can see decreasing towards zero and will reach zero when almost this much Bitcoin is created. So after maybe some years, the reward money will be zero, and that time this much 21 million Bitcoins will be there in the market, in the Bitcoin market. That much amount. Okay. So the Bitcoin currency is fixed. So that's why it is like gold. It is in the earth, the amount of gold is fixed. Okay, one cannot increase or one cannot decrease. Okay, it's fixed. Similarly, the Bitcoin is also fixed. So that's why Bitcoin and gold are coming. So this is the way. Okay, will be this was we have discussed. Okay, so the last I still have time. So last I'll just see. Coins are divisible and transactions are multi input and multi output. So let's say you can see that this will see more details as I'm telling you. So let's say I have one address, I got 5 Bitcoin and I got this 3 Bitcoin. So okay, so these two things are there. Okay, so from one address my previous address I have 5 Bitcoin and 3 Bitcoin. So I have input of 8 Bitcoin. I cannot say that I can, there is no provision of, I'll take, let's say I have to give, I got 5 Bitcoin, I have to give 7 Bitcoin to someone. Okay. So I cannot say that I'll take 3 Bitcoin from him, this address, and 4 Bitcoin from this address. That is not possible. I have to take completely full 8, full 5. I cannot take part. That is not possible. Okay. So this I'll take 5. So I got 8. I have to give 7. So 1 is remaining. So remaining amount I can transfer to my own address. That is possible. So it's called multi-input multi. So we'll see more detail in that. Okay. So with this one, I'll stop. If you have any quick questions, you can ask me. Otherwise, I'll stop. So any queries, you can ask me. So if you have queries, still tomorrow we'll be meeting. So tomorrow you can ask me. Okay, so with this one, I'll stop here. And tomorrow morning, 9:15 we'll meet. 9:15 we'll meet. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Abhishek and Gayatri, you can wait.